Use the force, Luke.
Live long and prosper.
I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Shut up and take my money.
By Grabthar's hammer, what a saving.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
X never, ever marks the spot.
Winter is coming. You're a wizard, Harry.
Stay a while and listen.
My whole Kermit the Frog.
Your ties are cool.
So say we all.
This is a Play on Nerds.
Welcome to episode 234 of A Play on Nerds. I'm Jarman.
And I'm Steve, and we're here to bring you some nerdy fun.
Absolutely. And in honor of the new show coming out that everyone's talking about, Welcome to Derry, the continuation of It. So I think it actually is called It, Welcome to Derry now, or something like that. They put that in the official name of it, which is about a story of a clown stalking his victims, instilling fear into everyone around him. We're going to the Rule of Three, another movie about a terrifying clown, Killjoy 3, the old classic that everyone's heard of. I think there's 10 movies in the series now.
There's so many. I looked. There's so many. All of that and more in our spooky Halloween spectacular.
Halloween!
Woo! But before Killjoy, let's talk about some actual joy. Jarman, what have you been up to since the last time we talked?
Whew, it's been a really insane month. I have put way too many books in this month, and so I've just been getting very little sleep, working all the time, trying to prep for a baby coming. It stinks because my wife has now started a job in person, so she's gone for the day, and then there's lots of repairs need to be done at the house that we're renting. So there's constantly people coming to like make estimates and measure things and pest control people. And so I'm getting interrupted from recording so I can get more recording done at night. So I have like 2-hour breaks where I'll have a nap and then I'll keep working. And it's been a lot. But today we had our ultrasound. It's our big 28-week update, basically.
Shiz.
So you do a glucose test where they have her take this like really sugary drink, and then an hour later
for gestational diabetes.
Yeah, which most people don't get, which is fine. And she's been pretty healthy, and we've been eating well, and so we're not too worried about it. But we get our results back soon for that. But we had another ultrasound, and our baby's been notoriously camera shy through all of our ultrasounds. We can't get a good picture of his face. He's constantly putting his hands in front of his face or turning around the wrong way, and I'm just like, damn it, just pose for the camera. And so this time we're all excited because he's so big now. He's kicking constantly and moving around. He's 3.5 pounds, they think so far. And once again, his face just turned away and his arms are all up. And we got kind of a little side profile at one point, and it's just really annoying. So that's the only annoying part of this whole process. I see
as long
wonderful.
as the doc doesn't seem to be concerned, then that's what matters.
Oh no, they're like, oh cool, he's in the right position. He's turned towards the right direction to come out the right way. I mean, he's already moving in the direction he's supposed to be going at this point in the pregnancy, and he's the right size, all the right limbs. But he just does not want to look at the damn camera. So we won't know what this guy looks like until he pops out, I think, at this point.
I'm going to give you a sneak preview. It's going to look like a potato. That's just so you know and set your expectations.
I'm hoping for Winston Churchill. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's what I said. A potato.
A potato. A British potato.
I said that.
But Steve, what have you been up to since we last recorded?
Just more home improvement stuff. We sealed up some cracks in our sidewalk that I think were leading to a little bit of water coming in through our front room. And we just had a crazy day of rain, and we just had the veriest little bit of water in our basement. So I can be kind of okay with it.
Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Considering we've come down before and there have been like puddles and stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
But waters in basement in Pittsburgh is not original. Everyone has water in the basement in Pittsburgh. It's just a question of how much. And then we hosted a Penn State game. It was a smaller crowd because Penn State is doing so bad.
Oh,
they're doing so bad this season. They went into the season like 1 or 2 ranked, and now they're 15 out of 18 or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, they're getting whooped. And because of that, the crowds have gotten smaller because people are just less excited about this.
I like the crowds, meaning like your family. It's just not coming.
Well, no, because there's the family, but then there's the extended Penn State crowd, who are like people that they've been partying with and watching Penn State games with for years.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that crowd grows or dwindles depending on how well Penn State is doing. But at this point, I think they literally can't make it to a bowl game. So at this point, everyone's just kind of checked out from the season.
So what is it? Peach schnapps going around. What was the drink again?
Apricot brandy.
Apricot brandy. That's right.
It's so bad. It's poison, guys.
They drink it for every time there's a touchdown. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Touchdown is a full shot. A field goal is like a half shot, a pony shot.
Gotcha.
It's real bad. But then otherwise, my grandmother headed back to Rwanda, Africa. So we did a big goodbye and birthday thing for her. But yeah, just kind of, the only big thing is we're hosting a Halloween party tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
On Halloween. We're calling it the Last Stop Halloween Party because we've invited all these parents and their kids for us to be their last stop in trick-or-treating. Because we know that if people go home, they're going to stay home.
Right.
So the goal is to have them end here. So we made Jell-O shots, and we've got gummy bears soaking in rum in the fridge.
Ooh.
And we are going to have snacks. Basically, the kids' party's upstairs. The adults' party's on the main floor is the idea.
I'm really scared because I haven't drank barely anything this whole pregnancy in solidarity with my wife. And it's been great losing weight and all this stuff and saving money. But I had 3 beers at a party the other night, and the whole next day, I was just ruined with 3 beers. So I don't know what's going on. My body can't handle it anymore. So Jell-O shots scare me.
Oh, yeah. Jell-O shots are at least light, though, because that's the thing.
True.
It's, they call them apple pie shots. So it's Jack Daniel's Fire or something. It's their Fireball equivalent.
Yeah. The cinnamon
Tennessee
whiskey.
Fire or something. Yeah, the cinnamon whiskey. We do that with green apple Jell-O. And then in addition to the water you use, we use apple cider. And so it makes it taste like a Granny Smith apple pie cinnamon.
That sounds delightful.
It's real good. And we got a bunch of them nesting in the fridge right now.
Nice. If we were to go to that country house we're prepping to go to with our families, you got to make that recipe when we're there.
Damn right. I'll make a triple dose.
Yeah. Sounds good.
That's right. But that takes us into some
nerdy news.
It's time for Nerdy News.
All right, so my story is called You've Heard of Mouth Breathers. Well, have you heard of butt breathers? So, a recent study was spurred on by the discovery that some mammals are capable of breathing through their anus. So researchers at Cincinnati's Children's Hospital and the University of Osaka in Japan found 27 male test subjects to give anal injections of oxygenated perfluorodiscolin. Sure, that's what it is. That substance has been previously shown to allow rodents to breathe anally. The only side effects with these adult men were some bloating and discomfort, but once the proper dosage was found after some testing, their side effects were pretty much lessened to nothing. They're still figuring out how effective this method is for delivering oxygen to the bloodstream, but the whole point of this weird experiment is their hope is that one day it'll supplement or even replace the need to put people on ventilators and artificial lungs, which would be much safer and less intrusive, but still prevent respiratory failure in patients. So you could basically have some kind of this solution as an enema up your butt, and it would oxygenate your blood when your lungs aren't functioning very well. And because those ventilators and artificial lungs can be harmful over a long period of time, and you can't talk when you're on a lot of them, whereas you'd be able to be coherent and talking and getting oxygen with just getting something shoved up your butt every once in a while. So it's weird, but it's pretty awesome. And the anus does a lot of interesting stuff, Just look at that boof.
It sure does.
Look at the boofing people do, They get drunk by putting alcohol up their butts,
Oh, man. That is so scary.
And dangerous. It gets you drunk so fast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it just absorbs directly and does none of the filtering that your liver would normally do.
And that's why this oxygenation thing is so potent, because it could get oxygen to your blood really well and efficiently. So it's actually pretty groundbreaking study. It's kind of neat.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't rarely have the actual science stories here. I usually have like some UFO crap. So.
That is true. You do normally have UFO crap. You're not wrong.
But that brings us to our main segment, the wonderful Killjoy 3.
This is the last night of fun before back to the dorms.
The professor gets back in 3 days.
One more night to make a little trouble.
I'll drink to that.
What the hell is that?
I have no idea. I found it outside.
What is it?
We don't know. Let's open it. I think someone thought you needed a mirror.
So ornate. Beautiful. Looks like something out of a fairy tale.
Something weird is happening.
Oh my god.
Your ass is mine!
Killjoy.
You find me funny?
I didn't do anything.
Our phones don't work. We're trapped inside this house.
And Eric is stuck in there with him.
You'll never see your friends again.
We're about to come face to face with the pure expression of evil.
Welcome to my feast! Diggy!
If you're not afraid, you will be.
You don't know what we're up against.
Ah! What do you want with us?
You think that's funny? Show you funny! I'm gonna kick your ass, homie. Come on. I need sacrifice. You and your friends will pay! Oh, you're scary.
Killjoy 3. I just want to set the stage here. Jarman and I didn't really know these movies existed.
No.
And we had seen neither one nor two. So went into these with fresh, wondering eyes. The movie opens in a spooky house where a bald man does a shady deal. And another guy, he needs a price paid in blood. There's a cauldron and it bubbles and boils. Green flames erupt and a clown demon emerges. They wasted no time or plot development to get to this point. The man who summoned him wants revenge, but the price is steeper than he wants as the clown demon needs more blood. But he needs a posse to help him. He summons like a burnt, distorted clown named Punchy. He summons a mime with a baby growing out of its side called Gemini, which pretty clever name. I got to give it credit. And then he summons a succubus named Batty Boop, who's just a sexy lady clown in body paint. But the ritual is canceled at the last minute and the demon clowns are sent back to their hellish landscape. We cut to a cop breaking up a drunk party of youngsters, and that's where we meet Sandy, the protagonist. She's the well-meaning protagonist is how I branded her, and some of her friends who are taking advantage of her last few days of a house-sitting gig. Sandy and her boyfriend clean up after the party. They realize that there are no mirrors in the house, and then we cut to a random blackout. Like it was so weird. It's the next morning. Sandy's boyfriend gets the paper and finds a large package wrapped in cloth. They open it to find a mirror. Foreshadowing followed immediately by shadowing is what I wrote. Cut to that night. The four and two friends that I didn't bother to mention before this point watch a scary movie, and a scary clown is in the mirror. The clown waits on the other side, wanting to escape. They consult the mirror manual, like a television, and are able to lure one of them over to the mirror. They lure over the football jock's best friend, who's called Zilla, is a Godzilla, who is transported to some sort of boxing ring. Zilla fights Punchy, who sports these huge boxing gloves. The ring is way too small for this action to play in.
Yeah.
Set designer did not design a big enough set. Zilla takes a beating, and I wrote, and this scene goes on way too long. Zilla, it turns out, is not actually physically transported. His consciousness has been transported, and he is spasming and having a seizure on the kitchen floor. Sandy's friend finds him, and she calls for help, but Killjoy answers the phone. instead of 911. They are able to wake up Zilla just in time before he can get punched to death, I guess. They try to escape the house, but find the way magically blocked with a magic force field. Once again, I guess. Erica, the friend, cleans up the blood while the others tend to Zilla, but then she looks at the mirror. She's transported to the same weird place. But she somehow knows that he's a demon of vengeance. She says it out loud.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, is she in a prior movie? Or...
I don't know.
I'm not going to watch to find out. Somehow, Zilla just knows vicariously that a boy summoned Killjoy 10 years ago, and he killed him. And everyone seems to know who Killjoy is suddenly. They kind of pose him as like an urban legend almost. And I literally put maybe something from the first two movies, ? Football jock wanders the house and literally nothing happens for 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
He searches the house in the darkness and it just goes on and on and on. He realizes that Erica is missing finally. He tries to run, but is transported into the clown hallway world. I did write that there was some actual clever use of what was clearly a limited hallway set.
Mm-hmm.
He ran a lot, and they did a good job of adjusting the camera angles and what little scenery they have to make it look like he was in movement. I'll give someone credit.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but someone gets credit. The group searches for the missing Erica, but Sandy ends up looking in the mirror. Erica's in there, but so is Killjoy. He says he's going to kill Erica unless they come to his world. They get ready to go fight demons, and they take salt with them, a pocket full of salt. What? They go and they decide they're going to fight Killjoy with laughter, but everyone seems to forget that almost immediately.
Yeah.
Just then, the professor shows up. He realizes that Killjoy came for him because Killjoy needs the professor to fulfill his hunger from because the professor is the one that summoned him or something.
And they didn't complete the vengeance or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote nothing happens for another 2 to 3 minutes. The professor is going to call Killjoy by his name to take power over him. So between the salt and that, they're feeling good. They hop into the mirror. The jock finds himself with Betty Bop, the sexy clown who tries to seduce him. Zilla ends up face to face with the boxing clown again. Sandy ends up in a love bed with Killjoy in lingerie. She's in lingerie, not Killjoy, just for the record. Zilla explains social justice to the boxing clown.
I love that part.
Who gets it? Sandy is forced to sexy dance for Killjoy to buy time, while jealous Betty Bop sees this and she is pissed at Killjoy. Sandy entices Killjoy with sex. This scene goes on forever. It's the next thing I wrote. Betty Bop comes in on the scene, slaps Killjoy. Finally, the professor shows up. Where the hell was he? He encounters Gemini the Mine, the one with the conjoined baby that we haven't seen again until this point. The dinner bell rings, and all the victims are gathered around the table, where Erica is literally on a platter, ready to be eaten. The clowns cut into Erica and actively devour her.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing left but a skeleton. The baby jumps on Zilla, but Zilla throws the pocket salt at him. Pocket sand.
Pocket sand. Salt bomb.
Yeah. Killjoy knocks the jock boyfriend's head off while the others feast. Killjoy then orders Punchy to kill Zilla, but Zilla encourages Punchy to resist and fight the power. Punchy and Killjoy struggle. This goes on way too long, but the professor refuses to say Killjoy's name, even though that was literally the entire plan. Killjoy ends up killing Punchy with a hammer blow. Sandy and Zilla try to escape. They're blocked. The professor finally says Killjoy's name. Filler dig?
Something like that.
He said it multiple times and I couldn't get a grasp on it.
I had captions on that said inaudible. That's what it said.
Yeah, that's what mine said too.
Yeah.
Inaudible. I wrote, why the hell did he wait so long for this moment? The professor, it turns out, is the father of the victim that Killjoy killed 10 years ago. And he summoned Killjoy to take revenge on Killjoy.
Yeah, I think.
Yep. But the professor realizes that if he kills Killjoy, then he will kill the spirit of his son, I guess?
Maybe?
Killjoy crushes the professor and sucks his soul out. Sandy and Zilla begin to laugh uncontrollably at Killjoy, which saps his power. Killjoy pulls out his intestines, which stuns Zilla long enough that he's able to murder him. But Sandy just keeps on laughing until she screams his name. Again, I wrote Furrig. And makes her escape through the mirror. Sandy finds herself back in the professor's home. The mirror disappears and she laughs, just insanely covered in blood. We continue with her laughing. It cuts to her being strapped to a table in some sort of institution where she has been pinned for the murder of all her friends and keeps laughing, supposedly to keep Killjoy away. But the movie ends with her getting like a dose of something to put her to sleep, in theory being that it'll stop her laughter and Killjoy is going to come after her again.
Yeah.
But
you
that's
to find
the
out in Killjoy
movie.
4, I guess.
Or 7 or 10, I guess. So, Jarman, what did you think of Killjoy?
Just first, a
What
few of
were
my
some
notes
good things
that I had.
Yeah.
They kept referencing Zilla's childhood in the beginning. That I thought it was to be some kind of big reveal, and they never went anywhere with that.
No.
What about your childhood? Your childhood? Your childhood? They mentioned like 3 or 4 times. Never brought up again. Batty Boop and Killjoy's relationship was way too much like the Joker and Harlequin. Like she even had Harlequin's accent and was referencing him like he was the Joker.
Her weird like baby talk stuff was goofy as hell.
It was like a Brooklyn baby talk thing. Yeah. They kept, like we said, and you said in your review, they kept confusing when the people knew who Killjoy was and when they didn't. And she calls him the vengeance demon suddenly, and she didn't believe that he was even real a minute ago. And then the professor comes and tells them all about what happened, who he is, and they're like all surprised to hear what the professor's saying. And it's like, did they cut a scene or they confuse these scenes and mix them up? Like, how do these kids? It did make no sense. That part was really weird. I put that scene of Roger exploring around, putting the signs in the windows. Like you said, it was so long. I think it was a fourth of the movie. It was just him wandering around.
I told you, there were 3 to 4 minutes where nothing happened.
He's just putting signs up, wandering.
There were so many times in this movie that you could tell someone realized we don't have enough script.
Yeah.
Like a director at least recognized that and tried to rectify it in the worst way.
I love it. I don't blame them for this because it could happen to anybody, but Boom was in the shot at least 2 times, which I love. Just seeing the boom pop in the frame and come back out. There's a line of dialogue before they enter the mirror where Zilla says to Killjoy through the mirror, "You better not hurt her or I'll..." And then he sits there with his mouth open for like 2 seconds because they don't cut soon enough to Killjoy saying,
right,
"Or what?" And so he just goes, "You better not hurt her or I'll..." And he opens his mouth real wide and stands there and like nothing happens. I'm like, did the movie break? What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, I remember that was like an old thing in theater because there are a lot of times in scripts where you get cut off and it was always know the next 5 to 7 words you would say in that sentence.
Yes.
Know what that is because eventually someone's going to forget, someone's going to goof the timing, and it will at least cover that has happened.
And I really hate this group of lines that are in so many movies. You better not do this or I'll, and then someone says, or you'll what? Because
you're gonna what?
Because you just let them finish their sentence and you would have heard what they were going to do. Like they never let them finish. And it's just like, they're about to tell you, like, why'd you cut them off? Anyways, that's silly, but good thing. So I think it had pretty darn good makeup and practical effects for a limited budget movie.
Yeah, they kept the scope small.
Right.
Which I appreciated. There were only a few really heavy, we'll call prosthetics that weren't more makeup driven. Like Killjoy did have some prosthetics to the face.
Yeah.
But was very makeup driven. Betty Bop was just an excuse to put a hot girl in body paint. Like that's literally
and just
why.
Body paint.
Just body paint. There was a moment where I was like, they didn't even put pasties on her.
Just nipples
They just painted her nipples. Okay. There was not enough budget for pasties.
I guess so.
But the boxing clown in Gemini didn't hold up visually.
The baby was bad. Yeah.
The baby was real bad. So yeah, so you're right. Some of the practical effects, as I said, they did that one scene. They did a really good job of using space, clever camera tricks, and rearrangement of the set to make it look good. And I said, okay, good. They got that right. But otherwise, the boxing ring, we talked about that.
Too small.
Was just way too small to play the action they needed to play, to the point where they just spent so much time cutting around the fact that they were so close to each other the whole time.
And you could tell from the beginning that they were in a big warehouse / what do you call it? Big studio building.
I think a soundstage.
Soundstage, thank you. Because like that one scene in the beginning where they're looking at the instruction manual for the mirror, like you could see almost in the background it was just a big empty soundstage. Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then so all the scenes they're dressed really well. Like the design was really nice, but you could just tell everything was just on a big old soundstage because there was no background. And the backgrounds sometimes you could see a wall, like you could see the wall of the soundstage sometimes. And it was like, this is just a big soundstage. I did love Zilla being able to convince Punchy the Clown to stand up to his oppressor, Killjoy. That whole social justice scene. That was good, and at least it paid off. Yeah, that was something that worked well. And I'd say hooray for the costume that's just body paint. I think that was it was fun to look at.
It was a great story-driven choice.
Yes, of course.
But like the actor who played Zilla, I think, was probably the best actor in the movie.
Maybe Killjoy was pretty good.
He was the most likable. Put it that way. To the point where when him and the girl were getting out at the end, I was like, oh, Zilla makes it. And then he got killed at like the last moment. I was like, oh, come on. He was the one we liked.
He was a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah. The him and Erica thing didn't need to exist.
Especially because she's like out of the movie halfway through. Yeah.
Yeah. It was basically just so he would have a reason to threaten Killjoy in that moment that fell so flat that you mentioned.
Yeah. You better not hurt her,
Okay. What did you think of the portrayal of Killjoy?
I thought it was just a very derivative amalgam of like every other kind of evil clown character that we've seen before. Very much Joker influenced, with a little bit of Pennywise. Like nothing original about it.
There were moments early where I was like, okay, maybe this movie's going to be more clever than I thought. So like the mirror manual and how they likened it to the TV manual. And like,
yeah, that was funny and silly. I kind of enjoyed that.
I was like, okay, so they're going to be poking fun at the premise a lot themselves.
Yeah.
But otherwise it was just him like cursing and saying crass things. And I was like, okay, I guess maybe that's not
clever.
What's happening.
Yeah, almost could have gone a good direction with those silly things and the social justice conversation, and those things were more silly than the rest of the movie, so it just kind of didn't know where it was going. Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. This was bad. It just was.
I enjoy a cheaply made bad movie, though.
The plot was poor. Once again, I thought that whoever directed it, production designed it, was smart, and they knew they had limited resources, and they worked with limited resources.
Yeah.
So like the entire story is confined to either that first room, which is probably in the soundstage, the apartment, or like the place she's house sitting, and then the like 3 sets that compose the clown world.
On the soundstage, yeah.
On the soundstage. Like, but that was it. Like someone was like, we have 6 sets to make this happen.
That was
and
smart.
They did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was, man, what a bad movie.
And the villains, the problem too, the villains felt too dumb to be truly threatening because they were easily fooled a bunch of times. to where they just didn't seem like ancient, demonic beings, because they were just tricked over and over again by really dumb tricks. So they just weren't threatening to me. Until the end, where they suddenly just go on a killing spree at the very end. It's like, okay, I guess they killed everybody.
When they just flat out ate Erica, I went, really? That was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They knocked the guy's head off, It was just like, wow, all right. They're just all dead now, I guess. Very quickly.
Yeah, we're not spreading these out at all, huh? Just all at once? All right. Yeah, fine.
But I enjoyed this movie a lot more than some other movies we've watched because it was just silly, poorly made at times, but they were trying. And that's some of my favorite combinations of these bad horror movies and stuff. I enjoyed it. I thought it was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was a passion project
you could tell.
Someone.
It's the guy who plays Killjoy, I think, spearheads all these movies. I think he's like the producer, if not the director and writer as well. Anyways, John Lechago, he's the writer, director, and stars as Killjoy. So it must be like his passion projects. He's like the Tommy Wiseau of this from The Room. Some trivia here. After she was cast, Victoria de Meer, who played the succubus, the director, writer, John Lechago, who's also an artist, told her he wanted Batty Boop to look totally unique. So instead of designing a costume, he wanted her to be covered in full body paint. Apparently, de Meer, she loved this idea, even after he told her that she'd have to be totally nude during the application process. He did several makeup tests until they found a design they both liked. After that, every day, de Meer would show up on set and stand nude for 5.5 hours while makeup artist Tom Devlin applied the paint. Then it would take about 2 hours to remove it at the end of the day's shooting. So
7.5 hours for this crap movie.
And then she also had to act on top of that for her shooting days. The language that the behemoth hobo clown, Punchy speaks is an actual language and not made up. It is called Carney Lingo. And Carney Lingo is an alteration of English, much like Pig Latin. It is popular with professional wrestlers, and it was Al Burke, someone named Al Burke, who suggested to have all of Punchy's lines spoken in it. So apparently it's like a derivative of English that was used with like carnival barkers and people back then who worked at carnivals, and very simplistic language with lack of education, I guess. But anyways, John Lechago originally wanted Killjoy to wear a jester's hat, but he had to nix that idea when the hat wouldn't stay on Killjoy's head because of his crazy hairstyle. The jester hat would have made more sense if they went more of a goofy direction. And this was filmed at the same exact time with another Full Moon Productions film, which we also reviewed the third movie in that series, Puppet Master, Axis of Evil. So we didn't review that movie, but we reviewed the other.
We didn't.
But we reviewed the other Puppet Master movie 3 that we reviewed. And these were all filmed in China. So this was they got these tax breaks and like deals to film cheaply in China for this movie. So there's only like one Chinese actor, but the rest of them were all Americans that were kind of flown over to China to film this movie.
That's crazy to think that it was enough of an incentive that it was cheaper to fly an entire cast crew out there.
I can't believe
that.
And
I bet you they got the sets cheap built there.
That's
true. That was part of it.
Mm-hmm. No unions, nothing. So you just kind of do everything off the books in a way. Yeah. So that's how this got made. But Steve, I hear you got a bit for us.
Oh boy, I've got a bit of something. I've got a little game. I'm going to call it Considering Costumes. So Jarman, unbeknownst to you, I have a bank of 10 Halloween costumes.
Okay.
So I want you to imagine if someone gave you like a movie or screen accurate version of this costume, and you're going to rank 1 through 10.
Oh boy.
Where you think you would play, and you're going to blind rank it. So you're not going to know what's left.
Not again.
Yep. I love this game because it just leads to absolute chaos in the last few choices. Okay. So are you ready to play Considering Costumes?
Absolutely. So where I just would like it for myself or just like the costume in
general? Well, someone's like, you have to wear this.
Gotcha.
Where you would rank it. But no, it's good quality. Whatever it is like screen quality.
I love it.
Costume. All right. So the first one, Ghostbuster.
For me, it's pretty plain. I'll go with an 8.
An 8? Wow.
That's low, right? That's not high.
Yeah, that's low.
Okay,
1
good.
is your top spot.
Yeah, that's not that exciting for me, Ghostbusters.
Okay. Harry Potter.
I wouldn't be caught dead wearing that these days because of the controversy, so I'm going 10.
Wow. Okay, fair. Harry Potter in the 10 spot. All right. Predator.
Ooh, a screen-accurate Predator costume.
Yeah, like a nice screen-accurate. The ones that you see at Comic-Cons and go, how?
Yeah,
one of those.
I'm not a huge Predator guy. I like Predator, but I think that's awesome. That'd be so impressive that I'm going to go with. I'm putting that as a 3. That's pretty high.
Whoa, that is pretty high, especially since you have no idea what's coming after this.
I know, but that's just be so impressive to wear anywhere. A screen-accurate Predator costume. That's hard to beat.
All right, RoboCop.
Ooh, a screen-accurate RoboCop. I'd like that too.
Move, creep.
Yeah, I'll go with a 4 for that one.
Okay, so just below Predator. Why did you choose Predator over RoboCop?
It's just more impressive of a costume. Like there's more to it, more nuance, more details. Yeah.
Plus, you get like mandibles.
Yeah, it's badass.
Bookie face things. All right, Batman.
It's just overdone. So, yeah, I'll go with.
And which screen accurate Batman would you be most excited about?
Probably. I'd go retro. I'd go with Keaton.
Adam West.
No, not that retro.
Keaton.
Yeah, Keaton Batman.
Okay. See, I think I would go with Adam West Batman. Mostly because it just looks like a far more comfortable and approachable costume.
The problem is you actually need to have a really good body to be an Adam West costume.
That's true. There's no
padding.
fake sculpted things. It's fair.
I don't have that kind of impressive body to put on display.
So where'd you put Batman?
What do I have left here? I have
1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9.
I'll go with a solid 5 for that because it's fun.
Okay.
Generally impressive.
Okay. All right. Austin Powers.
5, 7, and 7 and 9 left.
1, 2, 6, 7, 9.
I'll go with 7. I don't have much interest in that, but I don't hate it.
I think like a real nice crushed velvet leisure suit.
Be hot in Florida, but all these would be hot in Florida, so it's fine.
That's true. Every single one. It's so hot in Florida. All right, Pennywise.
Ooh, a real good screen.
And then would you want retro Pennywise, Tim Curry, or would you want Skarsgård Pennywise?
I do like the Skarsgård one. It just looks more impressive.
Did a good job.
I'll put that as a 3.
3's already taken by Predator, so you want to go to the 2 spot?
Oh, there's no 4 left?
6. 2 and 6 are your split right now. The number 1 spot's also still available.
So I have 9 as well?
9, yeah. 1, 2, 6, 9.
1, 2, 6, 9. I'll go 6 with Pennywise.
Wow. Okay. We're coming down to like the last few.
I know. God.
Okay. Shrek.
God, no.
1, 2, 9.
9. I don't like Shrek. Oh no, what's the last 2?
Okay, the last 2 are very, very different. All right. Snooki.
Like from Jersey
Shore. Yes.
I think it'd be fun. Why not?
Screen accurate.
No one would think I would do that. I'm putting it 2 because that's all I got left is 1 and 2, right?
Yes, Snooki is number 2. Okay. And that means by default, your number 1 would be a screen accurate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles costume.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm okay with that.
Right?
From the original movies.
The question is, which one do you want?
Yeah, I want the Ninja Turtles 2, like those from the Prime.
Okay.
One, they were still...
But which one of them?
Oh, which one of the Turtles? Oh, I've always been a Donatello fan. That's me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Which one would you be?
Plus, he's he's the tall one, so that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, to this day, the reason that my favorite color is orange is because Michelangelo was my favorite Ninja Turtle as a kid. Like that is legitimately the origin of it.
That's weird because my favorite color is purple, so that's really strange. I wonder if that's actually
why. It's all TMNT based.
That's really strange. I never thought of that.
That is my early identifying factor for it. I don't know if that's really it, but that's what I have locked in my head. So just to recap, number one spot, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Right after that, Snooki.
I own it. I own it.
Just slightly less impressive than Snooki is Predator. Followed very closely by RoboCop.
Nice. I'm okay with
Michael Keaton's Batman in the 5th position.
Okay.
Pennywise, Skarsgård Pennywise in 6. Just below it, Austin Powers. In 8, we've got the humdrum Ghostbusters costume. Under that, 9, Shrek. And then bringing up the end of the pack, Harry Potter.
I think that all works for me in order, actually, except for Snooki.
Except for Snooki. That is right.
And with the final, everyone in there, I might have put the Predator at the top because I think that'd be the most impressive screen-accurate costume. And so it'd be like 1 and 2 would be like, then
that and Snooki. Real close.
Just where Snooki might be number 1. I don't know. I like I'd be so tall as a Snooki too. I mean, I'm only 6 foot or 5'11", but
yeah, you would be. She's like 4'9" or something.
She's itty bitty.
She's like the size of your mom.
She's shorter than my mom. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Well, that brings us to some radical recommends.
If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up.
What do you recommend I do?
I recommend Pleasant.
Oh man, so something that's been helping me out in my times being busy. I might have recommended this way in the past, but HelloFresh. I wish I was getting sponsored by it on this podcast, but we've been members for this and its smaller company that was the cheaper option before that one even for years now. And so we get 3 meals a week from HelloFresh. I think it's about 73. So technically it's 6 meals because 2 servings for each one.
Got it.
It's $75 a week. So that's 6 meals for $75. And so it's not wonderful, but at the same time, there is the convenience factor. There's no wasted food. And now with grocery prices, it is absolutely cheaper than what the grocery prices are. But also it's on top of that, it's also teaching you something. It's like you're getting lessons in cooking and what things go together, how to cook things properly that you do over and over again. So you kind of learn by just repetition. So eventually I see like a recipe in front of me from HelloFresh now. And I'm like, oh, I see what kind of recipe this is. And I can do most of it without even barely looking at the recipes anymore. And also the food price has not increased in all the 5 years we've been with them. They've not changed their prices. The portion sizes have not reduced. The food selection's only increased. So we have more choices we can make each month or each week for each meal we're getting. A huge selection of things you can choose. If you want to do something healthier, something more junk foody. There's variations in how long it takes to cook. They even have microwave options. If you're like 1 week, you're gonna have no time, you can like order some microwave ones.
Nice.
And so I just think it is a little bit more expensive sometimes, but it's made it so we didn't go out to eat as much anymore. So we barely ever go out to eat now because it's so expensive. But in general, we stopped going out to eat less because we had HelloFreshes sitting at home. And so it's definitely cheaper than going out to eat, and healthier than getting fast food. So overall, like, they're not all great and they're not all in everyone's price range. They do have a cheaper version from the same company, and I'm forgetting the name of it now. But so it's more accessible for people who can't afford the HelloFresh one, but totally worth it. I think it's definitely worth looking into for some people. I mean, you can order more meals, more servings. So if you have kids or if you have more people in the household, but depending what they eat, might not be worth it. But so I know kids sometimes just want their chicken fingers while the adults eat the real meal. So
yeah, it's true. They do.
But yeah,
always.
So that's my little recommend there. It's been helping me out in these busy times and expensive times. But
yeah, true.
Takes us to some trailer reviews.
Well, this week, in honor of the spooky holiday season, I picked a not what you would expect horror film for our movie, and it's Primate. Not coming out till 2026, mind you. So it's weird and unfortunate. And like March too, like a weird month. Primate, but it appears to be about a college girl and her friends going to her family's remote cabin for a relaxing holiday weekend where she introduces the fact that her father was some sort of scientist, presumably, who alongside her raised a chimpanzee, that they grew up together.
Yeah.
And something happens where the chimpanzee gets attacked, from what we can see, and it mentally breaks something in the chimpanzee, who proceeds to hunt and murder her and all her friends. And this movie is terrifying in the absolute best way, in that, you know, I think that this also falls into the sort of the category of like Megan, those movies. It's small unknown attacker. But right now, a robot couldn't murder you realistically.
Not yet.
Robots just aren't at that point, but a chimpanzee could kill you 10 times.
Yes.
And have no remorse. And he would eat your face 9 out of 10 times, and only the 10th time because he was full of your face would he not eat your face.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
So there's something extra scary about this premise, because a chimpanzee would, and has actively murdered humans.
Oh yeah. It's terrifying. They're not supposed to be our friends. I thought watching this trailer that it seems to do it well in the trailer. They pick good scenes at least, but it's really towing the line between scary and ridiculous and like B-movie silly, because if you don't get that CGI really done well of the primate, and the acting has to be really good, otherwise it just falls into B-movie camp territory and silly. There's a monkey killing everybody. Whereas the trailer so far, it does look pretty scary, and the CGI looks good, and the acting doesn't look bad. They look like the good typical acting teenagers getting killed kind of thing. But that's a difficult line to toe.
As much, as far as towing that line, they did as much practical as they could. Like, they clearly had someone in a suit for at least part of it.
Right.
There's some shots where you can see that at least part of the face is real, but then they use CGI to like make it more expressive or augment something.
Right.
So I think that they seem to know their limitations and are at least aware of them and playing to them.
And you can tell it's getting cheaper now to make a CGI kind of Gollum, Planet of the Apes type creation, where it's more accessible to smaller films like this. It doesn't have to be a giant budget movie, because it looks pretty darn good. And this didn't have like a $300 million budget, so it's getting impressive. So yeah, I think it looks pretty scary.
Yeah, it looks pretty scary. But once again, I just think that for me specifically, it tips over the edge of horror, because once again, like, we've done. God, what we talked about chimpanzee attacks at some point for something.
Probably.
I can't even remember what it was that we talked about it with, but they're insane, and there are some crazy documented ones.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is like, after chimps go through chimp puberty, they are insane, and you can't be in the same room with them because their only desire is to hurt you. Like,
if you get in the way of their food, they feel threatened, anything.
Yeah, if you look at them wrong, if you have the wrong smell that day, they will murder you and eat your face. So because of that, I'm going to give this Raul Julia. It's his first college break. He's going home to his bungalow, and his friends are there, and he's like, "Oh, and I want to introduce you to my Gary." And it's Gary Busey, who's been raised alongside Raul Julia. He gets attacked by a coyote, and something finally snaps at Gary Busey. And he spends the rest of the movie hunting your friends.
I'm going to go a different direction with this. I'm giving this Raul and Gary living together as usual, as we know. Raul's just so tired of Gary's crap. But in the middle of the night, Raul just hears a crash through a window and Gary yelling out. And so he goes to Gary's room. He's like, "Are you all right, Gary?" And he sees Gary's been bitten by something. And Gary just looks up at him and says, "I'm actually feeling okay. I think everything's going to be all right." And it turns out giving Gary rabies is actually what causes him to be normal.
Right. It somehow has the opposite effect.
Exactly. The reverse rabies.
Yeah, reverse rabies.
And that's what this movie will give me, is reverse rabies. So that's good.
Yeah, the Busey cure.
The Busey cure. The BC.
Oh, man.
So that brings us to the end of episode 234 of A Play on Nerds. Our next episode, please join us, where we'll be honoring the Predator Badlands, coming out November 6th, which is going to be, of course, we're going to talk about a movie that was inspired by the Predator franchise that we've all seen and we've all loved.
Some argue it's better.
Some argue. I don't know who they are, but his name is Alien versus Hunter. Yes, you can find it on YouTube in entirety. So watch it before we review it.
Definitely not a movie that was released on DVD 2 weeks before Alien vs. Predator to trick old people into renting it.
Definitely not an asylum picture.
Definitely not what happened.
Definitely not.
All of that and more next time. Keep on coming back to be our nerdy audience. We will keep on coming back to be your nerdy co-hosts. And thanks again, Internet.
Stay nerdy, my friends.
Thanks for listening to A Play on Nerds. Feel free to email feedback at aplayonnerds.com with all your questions or comments.
Shoot us a message on Facebook or Twitter and earn yourself a sweet shout out on the show.
Review us on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts so even more nerds can find us. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, we aren't picky.
Check out our entire back catalog and other offerings at aplayonnerds.com.
And how?